sure we're good. Rolling over there. What's up, guys? Anthony here with Empire Music. We're gonna bear with us for one quick second. We're gonna make sure our mics are functioning as they should be here. Just letting my screen refresh. Joe's on here.
We're ticking.
Joe is also not only the store manager, but our AV department, which is a very scary thought if you have any idea what happens here at Empire Music. Let's check this out.
I have this stylish red.
Yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah, headphones.
We're
we
working?
sound.
Okay, cool.
We had sound issues last time. We've dominated them this time.
That's right. And for you out there, if you're telling us we have sound issues, we don't believe you at this point. If you're just trying to get under our skin or to mess us up from our flow, which
in your face.
We have a ton of flow here at Empire Music. So welcome to our fourth happy hour hang. We've been doing this like every 3 weeks. It's a real good time for us. We have fun. Lets us kind of loosen up and kind of get a much more relaxed kind of atmosphere than you would get here in the shop otherwise. Talk about some things as far as gear, talk about what's happening here in the shop. My name's Anthony Pecor, Director of Sales here at Empire Music, with the head honcho, Mr. Joe Revita, store owner, hardest working man in show business. Store manager, Todd Myra. Say hi, Todd.
Hello.
Camera's right there. You got the camera? Okay, cool. And Bert Isaac Bruce behind the camera back there working everything. He's just putzing around back there. It's his favorite term. I cracked him up pretty good doing a video last week. So again, welcome. Glad you're here with us. If you got any questions, feel free to shoot that off into the little sidebar there. We'll do our best to get through it. A lot of you guys requested or submitted some questions already for us, and we're going to jump through some of that stuff. So really, kind of, if you guys know us, what we do here, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania, to be exact. We're a massive Fender dealer, Gibson dealer, Martin dealer, Taylor dealer, EVH dealer, Charvel, Jackson,
Gretsch.
All that stuff, and Gretsch.
Fender.
Did I say Fender?
You did.
We have Fender. Okay,
Taylor.
cool. We have basses and guitars
I like
here. We always have 0% interest financing here in the shop. We're competitive with pricing. We'll match any price. We'll beat any price. We'll get you the best price possible. Fender Custom Shop is really our big specialty of ours. And we do a full factory setup on every guitar that we sell. And at one point during this, we'll kind of run you down what that means. Todd, who does a lot of our tech work here, or used to be exclusively our tech, we'll ask him some questions and he'll kind of let you know what we do as far as some places say multi-point inspection. None of that here.
Thumbs down.
Right? We do a full setup. So if you would come in off the street and we would charge you $50 or $60 for a setup, we do that on every single guitar that we sell you guys. And whether it's a Squire or a $45,000 Game of Thrones Fender Custom Shop, $35,000. However, Joe, cell phone number?
412-915-7118. Hit me.
Hit them up. If you want a Game of Thrones guitar, we'll cut you a deal. We got just 2 left. Strats.
2 Strats.
Jazzmaster?
No.
Jaguar.
Oh,
No, that's it.
No, that's it. 2 Strats.
Look at that.
2 dragon scaled Strats. If you want one, text Joe.
35,000 each, but 2 for 70.
Free shipping.
Yeah.
We'll second to air it to you too.
Yeah.
No problem. Brent, everything good back there? You look good? You good?
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
cool.
right, we're
You
good.
had a worried look on your face.
Oh, he's
Okay,
not
cool.
playing.
All right, cool. So, and if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you are. It's the only place we're broadcasting it right now. Please subscribe to it. Stay up to date with us. We've been really, really knocking out some content, whether it's new content or even like we've been doing some old content,
refreshing,
which is kind of cool. Like he did a GS Mini 214. I did like a Vintera bass, American original stuff. So things that may have gotten buried on our YouTube page, or something new has happened finish wise, or like we kind of,
our equipment's better now.
Yeah.
So some of them at the
Yeah, the
beginning
gear's
were a little
better.
funky, just based off of Brent was running around with like 9 GoPros and a Zoom recorder.
Got
Now
a
he has a
expensive
big camera
Black
and a
Magic.
Zoom recorder. So got that going for us.
bastions of efficiency and
Yeah.
technology here in Empire Music. But also too, like our opinions change on things, right? I mean, as like you play, if you see Vinteras from like your opinion of a Vintera or anything else from the time it came out to now,
Sure.
those things change because we start to demo them for guys. We hear feedback from customers, and like the way we sell them and the way we think about them changed. So we figured we would just give a refresh on kind of some of our content that's out there too. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We greatly, greatly appreciate that. And if you have any feedback for us as far as what videos you want to see, what formats you want to see, let us know. Drop us a line in the comments, drop us a line, drop us an email. It's Anthony, Todd, Joe at empiremusic.com, respectively. Call us. However you want to reach us. When you go onto our website, there's the Ask Expert in the right-hand corner. Your probably your left now, however that works. I don't know how that crosses this way. But let us know, like, what content do you guys want to see? Is it wood comparisons? Is it acoustic tone wood comparisons? This man knows everything about acoustic tone woods. So does this man. Not this guy so much. So 4 years here, you'd think I'd be better at it. But if there's like bass neck comparisons, Fender Custom Shop neck profile comparisons. Again, this guy here knows everything about that stuff. So if there's specific content that you guys want to see, let us know, man. We would greatly appreciate any feedback or any suggestions that we have. And we're trying to come up with some new, like I said, content ideas and series and things. And so let us know about anything that you guys want to see, please. So what's happening in the shop this week? I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Joe Ravita here. We're just going to talk about some of the new stuff that kind of popped through.
Yeah.
It's been kind of a light week here at Empire Music, correct?
Yeah. Seems like, VidMax 60 just learned how to comment. Welcome. So what's new at Empire?
Hi, VidMax.
So, well, we handed in our permits for the upstairs, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So that's exciting. Ultra Lux, that's probably the newest, coolest product. Todd's going to give us a rundown here in a second, talking to us about that our custom shop expert guitars shipped. Good Lord. I begged Martin Guitars. I begged them to have them here for this. And it's just to no avail. They will be here Monday. We're getting 6 or 7, 8 guitars. And also, one of the very first of my run of guitars shipped, 2. It's going to ship today or Monday. That'll be part of, of an exclusive run that we're doing. I'm excited about a Koa guitar. But, the Custom Shop Expert guitars are going to kind of redefine the Martin Custom Shop. And they are going to be awesome. They're only going to be at 25 stores. So we will, Anthony's off next week, but I'm going to shoot video all week long with Brent here on these guitars. And the week after that, we will be pounding out those videos. And we're really excited because they are, custom shop guitars are expensive. We know it. You know what I mean? But in terms of value, which is what I'm most interested in, is what's something worth. I don't like spending $1 here on something that's not worth it. It's like, to me, like if it's a low end guitar that's crummy, just because it's cheap doesn't mean we bring it in. We avoid those guitars. So we're really, really excited about that stuff coming. Todd, why don't you talk to us about the Luxes, though, because they're here. And Ultra Lux from Fender. Why don't you grab one and give us the tour du jour?
So we've had them all. They've been so popular, we can't keep them in stock, right? So this is the standard Strat right here.
Oh, I thought you said it there. Wait,
No,
the
that's
Luxes.
good.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hold on.
No, go for it. No, talk about it.
Okay.
Hey, what the hell? You're only young once.
Go for it.
I can't read the script. I'm a big picture guy.
So yeah, if you haven't played one yet, do yourself a favor and check them out. They're kind of like the deluxe version of the Ultra series. So they even have more great stuff on it than the Ultra. You already thought the Ultra was fully loaded. This thing is even more so. What they did with this guy, stainless steel frets, number 1. Same type, same size, but the durability of stainless steel. I mean, do you have any bases with stainless steel or anything like that?
No, it's not something, because we're not like massive benders of strings. I don't know if there's like some high performance style bases that do it, but you would think that would actually be a good fit on a bass, but I don't know of any that have it. So what's that do? What's the difference there? So from
durability,
that perspective, right.
So they'll wear a lot. Slower. Yeah. Thank you. They're nickel's a soft metal, and if you have a heavy left hand, that's where you start getting those divots.
So typically speaking, a normal Fender, what is that fret wire made out
Nickel.
of? Nickel.
Yeah, most fret wire is going to be a nickel wire. Martin they have that in between, which is on the Mono Deluxes, which is I don't think it's stainless steel, but it's actually harder than nickel.
Yeah,
it's in between there. But stainless steel is, to my understanding, the hardest fret you can get. So I'm seeing it a lot nowadays on guitars.
We hear it more often in the shop now. People not necessarily like demanding it, but people do ask
Talking
about like,
about
is
it.
that a stainless? Do you have anything with stainless
Yeah.
steel frets? We hear it more often now, so
I'm-
that's a good move on Fender's part.
When you look as many guitars as I do, whether it's stuff we sell or just things I'm just checking out, you
Huh,
see stainless
This guy
steel.
here sees them all.
You see stainless steel. That's going to be like you're the thing. Stainless
Right.
steel. So that's a cool upgrade. Ultra rolled edges, so these are really rounded. It's like super comfortable. There's no sharpness whatsoever with these guys. The things that are very similar, the contour neck heel beveled cutaway, that's familiar. Locking tuners. Difference. This has an augmented D shape now. This neck profile is a little different. It's not like extraordinarily different, but it's enough that you can feel the augmented D, meaning that it just gets a little thicker as it goes up. So as the modern D that's on the Ultras is pretty, the taper is pretty even all the way up. This actually gets thicker about right here. So
thicker this way.
Depth.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
So
see it right away.
You get your modern D, which is on the Ultras, and then it starts to get a little heavier. Not a lot, but just enough that you can feel just a little better sustained.
Real quick, Thomas Moore asked if the stainless steel's frets eat strings up differently. Like, will you get string breakage or wear?
No,
more
because
so?
because they're still crowned the same way. I mean, they're still rounded. The benefit of it is the durability. You won't see those divots as quickly as you will on nickel frets, so you won't have to get fret changes as often.
Sonically, do you think there's any difference?
I mean, I don't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much the fret has to do with the tone of the overall guitar. I mean, nickel softer. Is it warmer? I don't know.
Could be
harder, possibly.
Could-
You may
Could
notice.
be the next Empire music video, guys. You never know.
Stainless.
Comparison between nickel and stainless steel.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be something to that. And where does this fit in the Fender lineup? So this is below or above what?
So this is going to be above the Ultra, but below the original.
No, above the
Yeah,
original as
so
far as
price-
Oh,
price.
it's the
we're
most
talking price
expensive,
point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
thought we were talking about like just in terms of like series and stuff like
yeah,
that.
so it's
No, this is it. I mean, this is getting to the like top level.
what are we at price point there?
23.
So 23
There's some new
bucks.
colors on it and stuff
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, two color. They have that silver burst, which on they have that the on the telly.
I'll
they
show-
totally
show
that.
that. Sure,
green,
tell you a
pretty
little
cool. And to me, like, I wouldn't even think anything of stainless because I'm not a death grip player. I
Right.
think most
Yeah,
players,
yeah.
I just think if you're like, someone that is really worried about, like, if you play really aggressively and you really hold on to the neck hard, it's a nice feature.
I mean, someone that has done the setups and worked on people's guitars, you see that all the time.
Yeah.
You just see these big divots
Make
that
calls.
when they're small, it's not going to really affect much, but when they start getting deep,
Yeah.
now you're talking about intonation
Yeah.
problems, your action and buzzing. So,
And these will share a lot of the features of the American Ultra,
Mhm.
including the S1 switch.
Yeah,
And
the
I know
S1
it's not convoluted, but a lot of people ask that question, what those do. So in the case of the Telly, what do we have with the S1 switch here?
so you're adding the ability to run the neck and bridge in series in the middle position.
Okay.
So it's not as fancy as the Strat where you
Right.
actually get 3 additional positions. It's just 1 additional, but it's one that really makes sense for the telly. I mean, it's honestly,
Making that a big humbucker.
yeah.
essentially, right?
Instead of if you can eliminate the boost pedal on your board and just hit that. Boom,
Right.
There's your boost.
Yeah.
So that's the same.
Just explain how the signal, because this was interesting, because I really didn't know that much about this. When it's parallel, how does it work?
Well,
In
you
terms
have
of just like how the sound travels versus the signal travels.
yeah, like so the parallel. It's just as it sounds. I guess the path is running next to each other.
Mhm.
It's like.
It's splitting the energy into the
Correct,
two
yeah.
equally.
Whereas series, it's one after the next, and that's why with humbuckers, that's why the output doubles.
Yeah, you hear a huge difference. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and then, like the other similarities you mentioned was they kept the beveled cutaway and the contoured neck heel. They kept the locking tuners. They kept the compound radius 10 to 14. Another difference though in the Luxes, they did the matching headstock,
yeah.
which is really cool. So that's unique. The pickups are the same noiseless variety of the vintage variety. Now the HSS has that ultra double tap humbucker, and then it has the hot version in the middle neck. So, but yeah, that's
And then getting them.
Yeah, I
so
was gonna
that's
say,
like
yeah.
so how. I mean, Joe knows he's on the phone all the time with shout out to Matt Schultz. I mean, he hears from us daily, and supply chain right now, I think in just about every industry is funny to say the least.
Yeah, it's
So
brutal.
getting these, when can we see replenishment?
Yeah.
You know, these have only been here for 5 days.
Yeah,
4
I think we
days.
got 8 of the first 40 that Fender made.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, now it becomes the crapshoot. You know, it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be, I think if you see one that you like, get it. You know what I mean? It's like, now isn't the time to like, you know, on something like this that's new. Fender pushed the release date back. If like, I don't think Fender even launched these on their site yet. I think that they were supposed to go beginning of May, and now they're pushed out to June or something like that because there's no guitars in the field, and I don't think they're going to get to a quantity. So we have more on order. I spoke with everybody at Fender today, and we're just trying to get an idea. There just isn't a great understanding. The real trick, I think, and our boy John is in here, and he's from one of our manufacturers. He's a great guy. He's a Pittsburgh guy. And I think the issue a lot of the people are running into is like there's manufacturing people on the floors, but there's not a lot of like management or salespeople. So they're not allowed to be because of COVID restrictions still. So it's just like they're making stuff, but we really don't know until it kind of like comes to the final place ready to ship, which is made waiting for guitars. Just that we're waiting. We get an email with an invoice. Like, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's just, we know when we know, which sometimes feels like we're giving poor customer service, but we're trying our very, very best. And I know they are too. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is what these companies make a lot of guitars, and it's what they've done for many, many years. So if it's throwing them a curve, you have to understand it's like, you know, they've basically seen everything through a lot of their histories, and this is the first time for it.
So with new products like this, I mean, if you guys
Brutal.
out there like want to jump on it, and if you're kind of thinking about it, obviously if you're local, come in and try them out. If it kind of fits for you, you know, don't hesitate. We say this every week. It's just it's getting tougher and tougher in some instances to get things. So if you like something and you know you can afford it, we'll try and take care of you on price, but take it home, man, and just enjoy it, because it might not be here in 2 days, 2 hours, a week from now, and then like you want to wait 6 or 7 months for it. No.
Yeah.
So if you dig it, grab it. And like the Luxes are going to be no exception.
And the
to that
manufacturers
for
like
a
want to
while.
sell you a guitar. It's not like, you know, I think a lot of times it's funny. It's like the frustration, but it's like, obviously they're trying to get them done. It's not like they're in the business of putting out great guitars and getting them in our hands. And, but where we see it, I want to backtrack here for a second.
Yeah, we're going to jump back because we jumped a little out of.
There's a specific line that says
Anthony
Fender Lux,
here,
which we'll get into in a few minutes, which I just skipped over. But I want to talk about opportunities. You know, like Fender B stocks. You know what I mean? So Fender sells guitars directly at Fender.com, which I wouldn't suggest buying a guitar honestly on there because they don't set them up or adjust them at all, and that's why there's a lot of B stocks. They're just returning guitars. So we've been jumping on those. So you get a great discount on them, and we do a meticulous job. Like Todd's listings at the very bottom will say this guitar was inspected and found to show no blemishes or defects.
I'm gonna drop a link here in the comments about where those guys can check out the B stock.
Or it'll say, wow, you know, here there's a scratch here, and we take a good picture of it if we can. So it's a good way for us to get good inventory. Most of the time the stuff's mint. It comes with factory warranties, and you get a nice discount, which is awesome. Also, we just got a bunch of factory used Taylors on order. So that's coming, which is really, really cool. And those are without warranty. But again, those are factory probably remakes. You know what I mean? Like guitars that had to go back through the build process, or just maybe a flaw in the visual of the wood. But they come with good deals. So there's opportunities there. We just got in, you know, it's like if you check the site out, Dean USA Custom Shop. We did a collaboration with them where we're carrying like higher end hand built guitars out of their Florida factory, which are cool. Dimebag Darrell has a signature model called a Far Beyond Driven. Far Beyond Driven. Is that the guitar? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Far Beyond Driven.
Number 100.
Yeah, we got number 100 of 100, which is really, really cool. So that just came in.
I'll put a link,
He'll link into that.
Yeah.
And you know, so we're excited. You can check the links Anthony just dropped in. We're excited to we're trying to get guitars where we can. So there's always a way. You know what I mean? It's just like, and really, I spend a majority of my day kind of hunting and working with manufacturers to either get a better handle on where the stuff is. And I'm excited because, you know, in working with Martin all week, what do we know? Man, we have 6 of these custom shop expert guitars that are shipping. So cool. We know that's going to be here Monday. So we're pumped about that. Or Fender will call me and be like, hey, we have this batch of 40 guitars. Do you want them? I'm like, yes. Same thing with Taylor. Gibson right now, for what it's worth, stopped taking orders altogether about a month ago through the first week of June. And they're just like getting a handle on where everything is, because they're the most out of sort for sure. I think they're probably the least technology based in regards to how they track their inventory and progress. So they're putting a new system in place, and that'll get hopefully better. So at least when we quote you an ETA, it'll be more close to, like, I mean, there are guitars we've waited 18, like, it's really since January NAMM of last year that they have no idea where they are or if they're coming. I mean, they're going to come, I guess, eventually, but that's been really tricky. So that's a drill there.
Speaking of new stuff, one killer. We got to
Oh,
check
yeah,
out
yeah.
Custom Shop. We got this 69 Strat reverse headstock.
This is a perfect example of
killing.
Just our dumb luck, and our rep just giving us a shout saying, hey, I think this was meant for Tundra Music in Canada.
Snatched
so
by Empire Music.
I don't know what if they weren't in a, I don't know why they didn't take it or what happened if it was a duplicate. So sometimes what will happen is, like, if Fender makes a run for a for a store or something like that, and something, whatever changes on that store's end, they won't sell them into Canada, or they won't sell them into Australia if that's where the dealer is. They'll go somewhere else. They'll come to us, and we took it. What's cool about this, and I think John asked about this, about like a reverse pickup in the bridge on a Telecaster, what makes the difference. The same thing with this guitar actually here. When you angle the pickup differently, you get a brighter low E and you get a warmer high E just because of the magnet placement. And that fits nicely because this has like a Hendrix headstock, longer low E string. So this is going to be a brighter, I would say brighter and tighter on something like this on the low E. And the top end will be a little bit fatter. These have 69 pickups in them. This is an alder body.
Yeah, it's alder.
Yeah, alder body. Yeah. So, and it's just like cool, just a cool guitar, super heavy relic. So if that gets you all bent out of shape, don't worry about it. You don't have to buy it. There's NOS guitars.
You don't even have to like it.
You don't even
have to like it.
Here, let's take a quick poll in pool. My wife makes fun of our Appalachian linguistics here. And
it's out of Philly. I don't want to.
I know they say wooder, and what do they know? But do you guys dig these relic guitars, super heavy relic? Because I'm excited to see, because Martin has and these custom shop expert guitars that are coming, a VOS, which is like a vintage old stock, just like a natural, like old school unrelic finish. And they have ones called Stage 1 relicing, which is badass. I mean, it is incredible relicing. It's checking all done by hand. It's incredible. It's not like this, obviously, but see, Carl likes the NOS. Oh, Robert Grell, I like the relic. Thanks, Robert, for being progressive.
So
unlike Carl Kelly, who is an old school guy.
It's 50-50 right there. Oh, there we go. VidMac, you are hitting the comment section pretty hard there. You said that you just figured out how to post comments.
We like it.
You're taking full advantage of it.
Wait till you learn how to text emojis like my mom did, and then it's nonstop assault on my phone.
The relicing thing's such a divisive topic, and like I go back and forth with it even myself, like working here, because like my custom shop bases that are going to come in, like I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy a relic one. No, I'm going to buy an NOS one. Oh, no, I'm going to buy a Journey. Like I don't know. It really goes back and forth. What you relic or no relic?
I like
for your buying. If you're buying it,
it depends. I like them all. I mean, would I buy a guitar like that? Absolutely.
That heavy of a relic?
Yeah,
I would too.
Yeah. Also, we just did a guitar today. A customer wanted a guitar that had an NOS neck on it, so a fully lacquered neck, and he wanted us to sand it. And our tech removed the stickiness of it and made it smooth. And we can do that for you if you want. And it felt awesome. So if you always like wanted an NOS guitar but don't like the tackiness of the neck, we can do that for sure. And to Rob Fullen, the Martin relics are coming Monday. I'm not sure exactly which ones because my email came in and it's just been one of those.
Yeah, we'll get to a lot of the questions you guys have. We'll try and circle back after we get through a few that were kind of pre-submitted here.
We got a part-time tech to help out. So
speaking of repairs, if you guys have been in here, we appreciate your patience if you're getting setups or whatever done. We've been like operating at a 2-week turnaround clip for quite some time. That doesn't look like it's really changing, but we brought a new guy in to kind of help Aaron out to do a lot of the factory setups that we like I said at the top of the video, that we do for every single guitar. Whether it's a Squire, Player Series, acoustic, electric, whatever it's going to be, we do a full factory setup on there. So a lot of times Todd would do that stuff and take away from doing his internet listings. And then, Aaron, it would take away from some of the repair work because that stuff had to go out. So now we got some help there. So hopefully we're going to start expediting out some repairs. And Aaron does great work. Anything that you need, we can do for you here. The only thing we really don't do is like refinishing guitars. It's not the only thing we do, but we have, Art doing great amp repair.
Yeah, amp repairs through the roof.
And so Todd, whenever a guitar leaves here, so someone comes on online, we come in on a Monday morning, we have a Squire, Affinity, and we have a Fender Custom Shop. They're going to get the same treatment, right?
Sure, yeah.
What are you going to do to a guitar to make sure it's good? We going to change the strings if we need to? For sure.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, we never send a guitar with old strings.
Right. So what are you going to do to the guitar to make sure these guys out there get a guitar that's going to be super playable?
Yeah, I mean you take care of the fundamental things, which are your making sure the neck's straight. You want to balance the relief, whether it's too much, too little. You want to make sure that the radius of the saddles are in line with the radius of the neck, for playability. In terms of the string height, we pretty much typically do with factory. We can do something special.
Watch this. Fender factory spec.
Yeah, so 6/64 is what. I'm sorry, 4/64 on the where the bases are different. All the way across.
All right, what are bases?
Bases are 6/64 low E, 5/64.
Martin.
They're interesting. They use was it there's a 1/16 on the high E and the 6/64
Taylor.
low E. Taylor's pretty much the same. They're like what, 5?
3 and 2.
3 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you shop with us. We know that stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, that's every guitar that you get goes through Todd's hands, new guy Paul's hands, or Aaron's hands to be full factory setup. And also, like I said earlier, if you guys want to see a video on that, maybe not necessarily showing you how to do it, but if you want to, we're going to maybe give you a peek back behind the scenes, the process by which we do it, and you can kind of see a guitar go from being ordered out. If you want to see some content like that, let us know. Be happy to film some of those videos for you guys.
A lot of customer questions, so we have to make sure we leave time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're right at the 5:30 mark, just about. We're in perfect line. So expansion update. I have no idea who that's from. Carl Kelly, that feels like a question that you would have asked. But if you're still watching, just confirm if you asked that or not. But you didn't leave your name. If it wasn't you, I apologize. It seemed like something you might say, though. So we are moving upstairs. We have a little bit of progress.
We're adding upstairs. We're not moving.
Yeah, we're not moving fully upstairs.
Yeah.
Joe, where are we at on that?
Well, we submitted our what do you call it? Documents or whatever, all of our plans to our friends over at the Mount Lebanon inspection office. So we're there basically right now for the next, they have 30 days, which I'm sure they'll take every single one of them. Then we'll get moving. And upstairs is going to be a new facility. I can't wait because we're going to have, Brent's going to be so happy. We're going to have hardwired internet in the video rooms.
It was Carl.
And it's just all of the, our video will be done in a new space, which is going to be amazing. So we're going to have a lot more flexibility in how quickly we can put out material, which we're really excited about because we have to tear this room apart every time we want to shoot video. And it's just we just waste so much time. So that's going to be solved. We'll have a bigger photo area, and our repair department will have proper space. I mean, I was just talking to Aaron yesterday about getting drill presses and all that stuff to do things more efficiently, which is really what's going to be a big, add on to this. Our first floor our teaching studios on the first floor are going to come out. We'll have new retail there, which is cool. But really, this is about connecting with you guys better. You know what I mean? Through our product demos, whatever video work we're doing, these types of events will become more regular. And since we'll have that big space upstairs, we are going to try to do more group scenarios, whether it be hangs for adults that want to come in and play with other adults. Because for the most of us, these guys gig all the time. They came up gigging and they've, it's so they could do, they have those contacts and that's their way. For someone like myself who doesn't really do that, it is fun to get together with other people and just jam once in a while and get a drummer and make some noise. Because if anyone's ever played with a drummer, that's always way more fun than just, banging together around. You can only play wagon wheel with your friends while you drink your Coors Lights and wear your Wranglers to get country.
Man, if you played as many wedding gigs as I've played wagon wheel.
That's that song. That's our Stairway to Heaven. That and Blackbird, that gets the boot.
What's the John Mayer tune, that the opening riff to Slow Dancing in a Burning Room? We hear that in the store a ton too. That's another one.
So we're going to have some cool stuff cooking there. So we're going to get there, God willing.
And then moving on to one of the questions. So that covers that.
Yeah.
So Brent Hudock, great customer of ours, guy that shares a ton of our content around, is asking a question kind of geared a little bit towards me here. So he's considering a fretless bass and wants to know our thoughts on it. if you're asking if you should play a fretless bass, Brent, I would say, always. Any time, if you don't play one, expanding over to that's always a great option. I recently bought like the Tony Franklin non-lined fretless. And that was the first time owning one that didn't have the lines on it, but it has obviously the side markers on it. If you're going to get one, I would suggest jumping into something with lines on it first to kind of help you out. But what you're going to have to get geared into there is not looking as much and really hearing the tones. So it's like you start out, really the best way to do it is to play like a fretted bass, tune them up, tune 2 basses up, get a looping pedal, play a C major scale or whatever scale on a fretted bass, and then try to match that without looking on a fretless bass. That way you start to really hear where those intervals are, and you can really get that muscle memory as far as what that feels like. So I would suggest that to like kind of dip your toes into the fretless water a little bit, but it's definitely a different beast. But I would always suggest someone playing fretless. It's great if you want just a different tone. There's certain songs that's going to fit for. There's certain songs that won't fit for. But yeah, do we still have any B stock fretless?
We just sold a Dark Knight yesterday. I think they're wiped.
Wasn't there a Squire? Those sold?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had 3 of them. They all went one by one. Yeah, we sold the their box was crap.
Yeah. We had some B stock stuff here fretless, but you missed out on that. But maybe
the Dark Knight one I just
that went
yesterday.
Right. Yeah, that was American Pro stuff. There's no like real cheap, but yeah, just get a decent little fretless and start out on that guy, no doubt about it. So another question from either Joe or it was Jose, or their name is just JOS, Jose. If you're watching and you didn't type it the whole way and I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. I'm just going to say I think it was Jose. I'm just going to guess on that. But the question basically is, hi, Jose, I hope. Have you ever come across a modern guitar, Martin or any other, that is close to the sound of a pre-war Martin? Thank you. You're welcome. I'm going to let the floor be yours, both of you guys. Like, I don't know.
Todd, thoughts?
Todd?
I mean,
what sounds like it?
The Authentics we had were pretty damn close. I mean, I don't know. Nothing will ever be the same, but the Martin, I mean, the lengths they went to do that Authentic series is ridiculous.
What are people referencing when they say pre-war guitar? What sonically is going on? Because that's like that's the phrase everyone likes to say. Pre-war. That's the big
golden area, pre-World War II, like late 1930s, early 1940s, Martin guitars. I think if you really got your hands on one of those guitars today, it wouldn't be the experience I think you think. I think what makes things cool is that you can have it and no one else can. Like that's the mojo, right? Like the vibe of it. It's like any other collectible item. I think increases. You think it sounds good before you touch it, right? That's the cool factor of it. Obviously, a piece of wood that's aged 70 years or 80 years that's tough to replicate. You know what I mean? It's just like there's no doubt about it. The new custom shop exclusive models are going to be in that pocket. The Authentics for sure. The reality is like the Authentic guitars really did. Martin has this museum, right? That's so unbelievable. The most hard to find Martin guitars in the world reside there. So they have access, and they've taken them to the Smithsonian and had them scanned and done all these crazy things to find out as much as they can about them to recreate. They've done a phenomenal job. I just think that the Authentic guitars that they're building now are 1,000 times better and more consistent. Let's put it this way, more consistent, because if you took 5 guitars off of Martin's line in 1941, hate to tell you, they'd have been inconsistent. There's no way. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you look at Martin headstocks, you can see this, which blew my mind. At the factory, they have jigs that make the headstocks. And Martin's headstock's very, very iconic because it's got the very sharp edges on the end. All of a sudden, if you look in like the 60s and 70s, they get round because the jigs, like just from use, kind of lost their edge. And they just were slinging them out. And you can go from the custom shop now and order, like if you look at John Lennon's guitar, Paul McCartney's, Martin's, when they're playing them, they're kind of the rounded headstocks. That wasn't intentional. It was just like the jig. Well, what do you think happened with the rest of this stuff? It's just like, it is what it is. They were doing the best what they could. Now, Chris Martin has invested a lot of money in dialing in consistency. And that's what makes the fact that when you go into a guitar store now, you don't need 5 D28s on the wall to pick a good one. There isn't. It's not how we look at guitars anymore. Martin's done an incredible job of that. So the Authentics, I think, are great because if you bought one, and they're not inexpensive, but the new custom shop experts are going to be in that line, and they're going to spend $5,000 to $8,000. I mean, you could blindfold yourself and get one and get an amazing one. Which vintage guitars always are going to sound cool. Like Gibson does the custom shop historics. We have a 1960 Hummingbird. It's phenomenal. It's just a really great guitar. I just think vintage as a whole.
Yeah. So why? But what? Like, why do people think a vintage guitar sounds good? Is it because the lack of moisture content, or is there some placebo effect?
Definitely
because
placebo.
Now you're saying, "Oh my God,
Yeah.
I have this guitar finally in my hand." Oh man, listen to that. You know what I mean?
It wasn't as alive when they made it that day. Understand that. In 1940, the guitar came with the line. The big part of it is the production levels were very low back then. So the attention to detail in terms of like how much handwork was going into them is revered. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. And then over time, maybe companies get a little away from that. And then they have to find a fine line between growing their business and doing things by hand. To me, most of the story now is in the wood curing, how Martin handles their woods, how amazing their technology is in making sure that the wood is cured properly. Because like anything else, if you like to cook and you have crummy ingredients, let me tell you what, it doesn't make a difference who's cooking your food. It's going to kind of turn out crummy. And back then they didn't have that technology. So the curing process was a lot more random, right? You know, and it's just like you would do your best, and there's obviously techniques. But I think as a general rule, like I say, when Ford redid the Thunderbird, did they not have power steering in it? No, because that would suck. Like that, like nobody wants to drive a car without power steering because it's dumb. Well, it's like there's new ways now that they are able to give you great tone and great playability on a consistent level, which they do.
Baking tops, taking that moisture out, hide glue.
Well, I mean, that's another. I mean, you have to think these guitars back then were made from trees that were who knows how old. You know, like rosewoods and spruces that were hundreds of years old. We don't have that anymore. So you're right. They have to take newer woods. The technology has to now duplicate, replicate. As Joe said, the curing. You have to make these guitars sound just as good by, putting a little more effort into it, and they've done that. It's fantastic. And if the Authentics we've had were any indication of what they sound like back then, I mean, I can understand.
Those the cannons do when they come.
Sure, yeah, they're great. And vintage guitars, I mean, like Todd said, maybe the woodage. I just think as a whole, I'm kind of like a little bit of a hater on that stuff because I think it's more cool because it's hard to find. If you found a bunch of 70-year-old guitars hanging on a store wall, you think they're going to play great today? No. Yeah, they don't play well. It's just like
some real flaws.
Yeah, they're just like they can be kind of like dogs. I will say at Martin's museum, I've held some of the oldest guitars ever created by Martin, gut string guitars and stuff like that are wild that still, I mean, do perform pretty nicely. And it's just like, and they'll let you, they let me handle them, which is really wild. So, I mean, like guitars that are like, what was the movie that they smashed on the set? I think it was an OM45 Deluxe. It was like the Quentin Tarantino or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, and
like,
the Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight or whatever. And it's just like, but I mean, I've held guitars that are literally priceless out there that are, if taken care of, will hold, the test of time. It's just if they made 5 of them, would all 5 have been great? No, there would have been a tier. Now, where I really feel like when Martin sends us a guitar, 5 were great. I feel like if we get 5 are really good.
I think one of the cooler vintage sounding ones we have is that Gibson, that fixed bridge.
Yeah, the thing is righteous. It's real boxy like Gibsons are, like real midgy and
Yeah, I'll put a link to it when I get a sec. It was a 1960, like brand new, but a 60 fixed bridge Hummingbird.
The Hummingbird, yeah.
That thing's killing. Those Gibsons that roll through, like I think to a man, all 3 of us are always impressed with those Gibson acoustics that roll through. They really have some unique character to them. And I mean, I'm definitely the weakest link when it comes to acoustic guitar knowledge here. But I think they just sonically, as soon as I hear them, they sound just absolutely great.
And for those mentioning like Torified Adirondack, and they like that, wait till next week when our run Authentics come in, because I did Torified Addy tops and bracing with exotic back and sides, Coca-Bolas and stuff like that.
We really hope to have a few here to show you today, but they just
didn't happen.
Just didn't happen. So real quick from Tim Doddett, this is kind of a non-store related question, which are always welcome. Like that's like, let us, like if there's any music related question, and we have 2 of them here. Real quick, he's just asking, what is the best technique to learn how to sing and play guitar at the same time? Well, I think as Todd and I briefly spoke about this prior to this, I was making sure we were like properly equipped to answer that question. And Joe can sing and play. He says he can't said he's not a good player, but if you ever hear Joe play, he's actually
Just not on video.
Not a bad player at all, especially on acoustic. He actually sounds really good. But do it a lot, right? Just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, Todd's answer was, I never practiced it. You just were on a gig,
kind of thrown into it.
baptism by fire, so to speak. Like all of a sudden, I got to sing backups.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll say this as a bass player, it's a little different. Rhythmically, what we're doing is a little bit more, sometimes more complicated than, say, what a rhythm guitar player is playing. So for me, and I don't sing backups. I don't get required to sing backups too often, although I will do it. Is like limb independent. So there was always this thing where the circles move in opposite ways. If you're seeing it from the side, it's this way. This awesome demonstration here. But like really, it's the rub your belly, pat your head type thing. It's like, so when I'm in the car, if there's a tune on that's in 4, I'll try to count 3 or count 5 over it, or put some weird rhythms over top of it, just to kind of get myself in the vein of singing a different rhythm along with playing a different rhythm. So I don't know, just do it a lot though, Tim. I think, we're probably not the best at giving.
I think it's like playing the piano. It's like, or find a song that the notes change on the chord change. Like your vocal, like Wagon Wheel is a perfect example. It's like strum, bunch of words.
Yeah.
And then you work way up. No, like I played piano when I was little, and it's like you start with a clunky chord on the left hand, you plunk your melody out on the right. It is repetition.
Left hand, right hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
It's the same melody and
it's the same thing.
I probably wouldn't take a Dave Matthews Band song first.
No,
that's an extreme example of it, because there's some weird rhythms going on there.
Yeah, just keep it simple starting and then.
Yeah, I think whenever I remember having to like just even sing like backups on like meters tunes where we weren't like harmonized or anything like that. And rhythmically, what was happening between the bass and the vocals were a little bit weird. When I was learning it, I would literally just like plunk out eighth notes, like I was playing rhythm guitar and not really playing the bass line. Then you can start to hear where focal points between the bass and vocals would be. So like, listen to Sting or listen to Geddy Lee, and it's like that's like to the extreme, or Paul McCartney. So yeah, you just got to practice it, and try to do trickier things than you want to do. That way, the easy stuff's gonna come a little bit more easier or more naturally to. And it also depends on like what kind of tune. Rush tunes would obviously be the extreme side of things.
Yeah, I don't think I ever told you in 7th grade I took a vocal choir solo at school, and I sung Eruption by Van Halen.
Sung it.
It's a guitar instrumental. Get your Van Halen knowledge together.
Nice.
I'm sure somebody out there got that.
Yeah, my mom.
So what leads us into another kind of a store related question, but what music is in recent rotation at the shop? So this is kind of a multi-point answer. We'll try to keep it brief because we want to get to some.
There's a lot in here.
Lot of engagement this week, guys.
We
appreciate that, man. And so we'll circle back. So music in the shop. We're a guitar shop, so I think any public place you have to kind of get a gauge on what's appropriate for in the shop. I mean, obviously we stick to kind of somewhat guitar orientated music, or like just rock basically is kind of, it depends on who's working.
We get some R&B. Yeah, there's definitely, if anyone ever saw the movie Empire Records, which I based the name of the store off of, they would rush in the morning and they would someone would get to pick the music, and then there'd be a veto. Everyone had one veto for the day.
We're pretty good at that. We don't veto too often here. We play Todd, you don't pick much music because he's back in his office a lot.
Well, what's interesting is we have the main sound source, with the main music coming out of the showroom. But then Aaron has his music going on.
His music.
So there's 3 different things going on.
Let's talk about what Todd listens to back in his office. There is like some death metal. I'm not death metal.
No, that's
play
Aaron.
Some pretty aggressive stuff back there occasionally.
I mean, it's like I'll go as far like metalcore is about as heavy as I can. But you go back to Aaron and he'll literally have like Carcass playing.
Yeah, but it'll also be John Coltrane the next day.
Yeah,
Aaron's. But here out in the shop, so it's like when we come in, Joe usually has some music playing. Joe's wheelhouse is.
It's my punk rock.
And
I love like Motown and stuff like that too.
Right.
So, but usually in the morning, I'm trying to get myself juiced up. I want to make sure I'm ready for those 10:01 phone calls.
I've walked into Tim Armstrong's vocals at very high decibel levels.
Check out Rancid. He's got a gorgeous voice.
Beautiful. It's pitch perfect.
Learn how to sing from him.
Pitch perfect.
Tim?
If it's me picking it, generally, I cater more towards R&B, soul, funk, things like that. But then I'll go like rock and roll side
Yeah.
too, because I like some heavier music as well. But again, there's like a threshold to
We've
it.
been doing a lot of Nirvana, 90s
Which is-
lately, which
I've
has been
been on
fun.
a kick.
Yeah.
I've been on a kick.
Yeah.
Nirvana rules, Green
Yeah.
Day, all that stuff like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. But that stuff goes in STP. That goes in heavy rotation in the shop. I'm a big hip hop guy too, but obviously, like for language purposes, a lot of times we just can't get too deep into that. But it's funny because at 8:45 to 9 o'clock, he's not here. He might be around. Jordan, me, and the new guy out there who's awesome. We start talking music, and then I want to give sound examples. So like it might be some Headhunters.
Experimental.
Yeah. Like Donnie McCaslin. What was it? What were we? Oh, it was straight hip hop here for like last 10 minutes of the night. It's like it was straight hip hop going back through like some 90s stuff, and there was nobody coming in the shop. So it was kind of cool. So it varies as far as what goes on here. But Spotify repeats. We have like these curated radio stations for us.
Yeah,
and like the first 10, you'll be like, okay, cool, that's something new to listen to. But even if you let a record play out, it ends up being the same music.
Well, the classic rock is where it happens because if I pulled into Nazareth, it's like it's like the weight. We'll get
the band. I love
but
the
I'm just
band.
like there are when you get into that. If you type 70s classic rock, if you do road trip. It's like 9 songs. That's it.
There's a couple Velvet Underground tunes. Like, no offense to Velvet Underground, super important. They drive me
We're good.
crazy.
Oh, our dime bag just sold. Look at that. Hours after getting it.
Oh.
Congratulations to Brian in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Nice. Brian, if you were watching and bought that from here, would love to know about it. But if anyone was thinking about it, got to act quick.
Yeah.
Case in point, it just sold. Number 100 of 100. So that we get the rare stuff, we get the cool stuff. If you're thinking about it, don't sleep because someone else is going to pull the trigger on that stuff.
That was just posted 2 hours ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah, really. That's right. Because I was getting some email stuff together because I'm off next week. So if you come in the shop, I will not be here. I'll be in North Carolina golfing. It's going to be the best time ever. I can't wait to take a little trip. It's been a hell of a year and a half, I think, for everybody. And I think deserve a little vacation.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. So I won't see these guys or any of you for a week. But don't worry. I got a ton of content all scheduled out for next week. So the videos and all the social media posts
Todd
will
and I'll be
still
here.
be going. There were Todd, Bert, and Aaron
And Jordan.
will all be in that house. And Jordan will be here.
Right.
Yeah, so we're all set up. So let's go back to some questions
Rapid fire. Here we go.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Nice.
Like, really, this has been an awesome one. This has definitely been the best engagement we've had with it. We really appreciate it.
I'll do the rapid fire. The Custom Shop Artisan P90 Telecasters are on order, so take that for what you will. We'll get them when we get them. Custom Shop Martin, would they do an all mahogany but unstained? I don't know if you mean unstained because they're not really stained. If you mean unpolished, like if you don't want a polished finish, you just want a natural satin, they'll do like a VOS finish for you, or even a like tongue finish where it's like tongue oil where it'll just be kind of like open pore. You can't get that.
Hold on, Howard Haynes, don't say that. Howard Haynes, don't say that. It's not. The weather's going to be beautiful. If you just jinxed me from playing Pinehurst #2 on Monday the 17th, it's over.
Howard, I'm going to give you a preview of Anthony's first day back and how it didn't quite hurricane, but the wind led to a bunch of 120s.
I ain't shooting.
That's it, 120.
I'll shoot a 120.
And then he's going to play the back nine, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Another
But
120.
back to the question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Howard, don't jinx me.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, Carl asked about what? Some events. Wait. Todd, let's talk about this real quick. Thomas Moore wants to know if you can go through the order of lines from the top of the Fender Custom Shop down. It gets confusing. Well, we can't do that here, but email Todd I think it's Todd at EmpireMusicOnline.com right now.
Did we not set it up yet?
I don't think we've switched it. We got to do that like when you get back because that's confusing. But Todd at Empire Music Online, he'll be able to guide you through that process. Next. All right. What do we got? Carl wants to know about in-store events, performance events. We're going to have the hangs with the jam sessions and stuff, which I think will be cool. But
I mean, would like to get, honestly, like eventually obviously regulations are loosening. We want to get our lesson program kind of back in the store. It's only Zoom right now. So when that happens, probably things are going to be a little bit more comfortable. We're going to get some in-store events. We would love to have like someone like guest in on one of these in the shop. We want to have some guys like talk about what they dig in guitars, and they want to talk about their collections. Like Joe and I were speaking today about some video content where like Todd like just talks about what he has. And if you're friends with him on Facebook, he sells and buys a lot of stuff. Seems like every Wednesday on Todd's day off, I see Celestian speaker up, guitar strap up, random strap locks.
Todd is
up.
the Facebook marketplace in Pittsburgh.
Man, it's ridiculous. But I could go over my collection and Joe's collection, and like we'd like to get some customers in here,
Yeah,
and, like talk about their collection and like do some videos with that type of stuff. But you know, so event wise, we want to involve you guys, our customers, whether afar or near, here on like things like this on our virtual stuff. And then, like in store, we're gonna have our Fender events.
Yeah,
We're
next
gonna have
year,
our
and then
Taylor
we'll get those
events,
live.
Martin
We're gonna
events.
figure out how to get those
Oh yeah,
live.
we're gonna
which is
stream
be
those
cool.
just like we're doing this on YouTube. So all those events that we have in store, Brent's rolling his eyes. He's gonna have to do
9
1 hour
cameras.
long form streaming things. But yeah, we want to have that stuff like not only in the store but brought out to you guys everywhere worldwide, because that's the goal there. You know what I mean?
Someone asked if we got our hands on the Jason Isbell Telly. Did you get a chance to play that at all? Real light.
I think I did briefly get a
Jason
chance
Isbell
because
Telly?
it didn't last very long.
Oh, we already sold it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was here for a
gone
second,
super quick.
So,
but it was or it is a nice telly. Yeah, it's very traditional.
Oh, so I
but
didn't
it
know
was
on.
that was another one of those listed and gone.
Yeah, I remember it was like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. All right. What else we got in here?
Let's see here. Someone asking, how are the Gibson acoustic stocks doing? Well,
They're awesome guitars. They sell.
I'm saying how the stock is coming.
Oh,
well,
man.
we just got
3, the LOO, the Hummingbird.
we got 2 LWOs, a
LWOs.
Hummingbird, and a
Oh,
45.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
and then
coming.
before we had the 1960s, J45.
They always sell well, and we're getting them.
I mean, they're not coming in by the truckloads, but
No.
they're certainly coming in.
I mean, they're coming in as better than any other
Yeah.
Gibsons
Yeah.
right now.
Set the bar low.
Yeah, right, exactly.
GS Mini with the Sunburst top. I've never seen one.
Mhm.
Here's the deal. Taylor's expanding their facility in Tecate, Mexico, where the GS Minis and the 100 series and all that stuff are made. The problem is they're so back ordered. Like nobody's introducing anything new because it's like, why do it? Because you can't even deliver it. And these brands, what's interesting is I think Fender states that 25% of their sales every year are what they call NPI, which is new product. NPI, new product, I guess. Initiation, new product. Hey, Leo. Introduction, new product introduction. So I draw a blank there. And so they think about that. 1 out of every 4 Fenders is a new model for the years. But now it's like you can forget even trying to we're trying to get our new exclusive models done. And it's like pulling teeth even because it's like materials and stuff like that. So it's like they're really struggling. So I wouldn't expect anything new this year or really even next year.
It's gonna be interesting with the Summer NAMM. What the heck?
Well, yeah, Summer NAMM. Like we did, Summer NAMM is happening, and Taylor is taking guitars. We bought the booth. It's about 40 guitars. It's a small offering. Like Gibson isn't displaying, Fender isn't displaying. So it's tough because these brands live and really breathe life into their brands with new product, and it's like they're really tough right now because they can't get the standard product out. And to me, I'd rather than just get us filled up with what everybody standardly wants before they start introducing new models that we can't get. That also makes people frustrated that they can't have. Hopefully they just keep delivering the goods, and we're praying that we're gonna just get filled up. Like I said, Martin's gonna be hitting us up pretty heavy here, which is cool. And like, there's always like something cool to come. But
real quick to kind of close out, so we're going to back up a little bit. Thomas Moore, can you go through the order of lines from the top Fender Custom Shop down? That's actually pretty simple. So obviously Fender Custom Shop is top of the pyramid. We're sitting in a...
No, I think he was saying on the order form. That's what I was saying with Todd.
Can
that we
you
would
go
have
through the order of lines from the top?
The
I see
custom
what
shop.
you mean.
Yeah, on the order form is what I took that as.
Well,
Oh, no, I take that as... Thomas Moore, you still out there? Do you mean like what are the lines of Fender? 'Cause I'm reading that as that. Can you go through the order of lines from the top for Fender from Custom Shop down?
Oh, he probably just means like custom shop.
So Custom Shop, and then it drops down to American Series stuff. And in American Series, you're going to go
American
what we
Original.
showed, the Ultra Lux.
Mhm.
The Ultra is an American original. That's like your top tier of American-made Fender stuff.
Mhm.
Down from there, you can do American Pro 2s. And then you have the American Performer, which we don't really talk about that much. No
We don't
offense.
stock
No
it.
offense, Fender.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
Those
a
guitars are wet.
weird price point.
Yeah.
Then we move into Mexican series stuff. Vintera and Noventa now, right?
Yeah.
And then we get down to Player series, and there's like a couple plus tops and one-offs with some road warns. And then after Players, you dip down into basically all the Squire stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty straightforward thing to look at from Custom Shop on down. And your price points, obviously Custom Shop, sky's the limit. American stuff's going to be from 2,400 down to about 13 in the American Performer. If we talk about American Pros, around 16. And then Vintera's between like around 1,000, 1,100, 750 for Players, and then 450, 429 for Squires, and then the Bullet Affinity stuff's down around the 250 mark ish. So that's kind of the rundown there, guys. Thank you for joining us for this 4th edition of our Friday Happy Hour hang. We'll see you in about 3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We really appreciate all you guys kind of sticking with us. This was really our best response to one of these, and we're hoping this continues to grow. We really, really enjoy doing it. It's a way to connect with you guys, our customers, in a nice kind of casual way. You really are the main cog to Empire Music here. Without the support that you guys give us, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to bring you things like this. We wouldn't be able to invest in giving you guys this kind of content. So we greatly, greatly appreciate it. We really are nothing without you guys. So please continue to reach out, watch.
Yeah.
If you have anything you need, call us 412-343-5299. Pro setup on every guitar, 0% interest financing, yada, yada, yada. We sell guitars, but we also really just like connecting with you. It's Anthony at EmpireMusic.com, Todd at EmpireMusicOnline.com. It's confusing, but we'll fix that. Joe at EmpireMusic.com. His cell phone is
412-915-7118.
You can text this man right here. Text him tonight, 10:30.
Not
10
Sunday at noon because I'm getting out.
Oh!
Sunday at 3. What am I talking
Sunday
about?
at 3.
Penguins play Sunday, playoff game, and at 3 o'clock I'm going out. I'm gonna have a beverage.
Text
2.
Text Joe at 4:30. You'll get the best deals ever. All right, guys.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week. Let's go, Pens.